Shalom, shalom, and welcome to Your Best Life with Eziaha. My name, of course, is Eziaha Balaji Olojo, and welcome to my YouTube Real Estate. I'm so thankful that you're here. Such a joy to know that I'm not recording for myself. You're here, I'm here, we're going to have a great time. So on this channel, we talk about various things. I really love to write and talk, and I have 3 blogs that talk about faith and family and fitness and leadership, and that's what I also talk about here on YouTube. And this particular video, we're talking about family. And even though I like to talk to stay-at-home moms that I call God's domestic queens, this video is actually for everybody. Whether you're single, you're married, you have kids, you don't have kids yet, it's really about respect and how we speak to kids, how we speak to children. But first, if you don't mind, do you want to help me share this video? I mean, you're going to have a great time. So I want you to subscribe, like, drop a comment. As you listen, just if something hits you, just share with me. If you have any idea, have any story, I would love to read it and respond to you. Plus, it really helps the channel to grow. We're growing right here together. So please help my ministry, okay? If you want to do it and this video is a blessing to you, I'd really appreciate that. That's how you can say thank you to me. I would work hard to give you really great content. Promise. So all you can just do is help me spread the word. And I truly appreciate it. So let's talk about respect to children. I want to start with a story. A couple of days ago, like a week plus at least from recording this video, now this is audio only, recording this content, my kids and I had gone to the dental clinic. It was their first time there. I have 2 boys, in case you didn't know. It was their first time in the dental clinic, and we're excited about it. They were looking forward to it, and I told them they'll use this whole sweet thing to wash their mouth and use this machine that had water. They just wanted to do just basic scaling and polishing, because I knew all was well with their tooth, and I had more serious things to do in my mouth. So at some point during the examination and all, my second son, who's almost 5, comes to me and says, "Hey, that woman is just beating King David." King David is my first son, and he's really sensitive. And at 7, I also try to really watch him, because it's such a pivotal season in his life with how sensitive he is. So I want to make sure that, just the right things are happening around him, so that he doesn't color how he sees life, while also strengthening his, of course, emotions, right? So of course, when my second son says that, I'm like, nobody could be beating him. I just thought it was one of those, maybe somebody, told him, don't touch this, because how kids, I have 2 boys, so they could touch this or that. And, so I'm like, So they finished examining me, and I went to my son, and he's truly in a corner crying. I'm like, dude, what's up? Like I said, I know he's sensitive. I'm like, what's up, King David? He said she was beating me. And I turned, just instinctively, because of course I don't even believe it. And I'm like, why are you? I was joking. I'm like, why are you beating my son? And there are 2 ladies there in addition to the doctors. And then they're like, no, beating care. Because it just didn't seem right that anybody would beat him. I just discounted what my son said. I'm like, okay, sorry. I just, tried to joke with my son and all. We go right into the scaling and polishing, and the same lady, one of them, she's doing it for my son, and he starts to cry. So I'm looking at how she's treating him. Of course, I don't want to speak to her disrespectfully, or, I didn't want to kind of shut her down while she was doing her job, and my son was there. So I was just like, take it easy. And I'm trying to, settle my son and everything. But he didn't really finish, because he was already upset. I guess it was also the fact that something had happened earlier. And at this point, I'm still thinking, okay, it's okay. He's a bit sensitive. It's fine. Then we finish all our, dental shenanigans, and we get back home. And at home again, I'm in the kitchen with my sons, and I'm having just this conversation of, debriefing the day. And my son says, "Mommy, I'm serious. She was beating me." I'm like, "Really?" He says, "Yes, she hits me with her book. She hits me many times." Oh my goodness. When he introduced that book matter, I'm like, wait, this is not just, if it was with her hand, maybe she pushed or something, which of course is still wrong. Wow, with a book. So I'm like, are you sure? He said, yes, Mommy, I'm sure. And my kids don't tell lies. He has no reason to tell a lie anyways. So at that point, I'm like, okay, what do I do? What do I do? Now, at that point, I also knew that I could teach my son a major lesson if I just discounted what he says. I will tell him, mommy doesn't trust you. And again, in my personal life, I'm really working through confronting situations, because naturally we don't want to confront things, right? Just like, oh, let it slide. It's not a big deal. But I'm really challenging myself to, be an adult, a grown woman, 36-year-old, go and confront things that needs to be confronted, but without your emotions all over the place. Your emotions under control. You confront it with dignity and class and elegance and tact, and respect and honor still for people. But you confront things. You have had conversations. So I'm like, this is an opportunity for both me and for him. So I couldn't go back to the dental clinic. I decided to call. And I called, and it was another lady who picked the phone. I'm like, oh, this is Mrs. Bolaji Olojo that just left. Like, oh, okay, ma, did you forget anything? I'm like, nope. My son said. And she's like, no, we cannot, no, we don't beat children. And she's really, and I said, it's not you, it's the other lady. She's like, no, ma, we cannot. So I heard her ask that lady, and I heard that one say, no. But at that point, I was like, I wish I handled it there. I wish I listened to him there. I wish I didn't just dismiss it as, oh, just this sensitive boy. I let it slide, fine. And she was like, oh, we have CCTV. You can ask our boss to give you the video and all. I didn't push from there because I had a later appointment with them. And I said, when I go back there, I'm going to chase it down and, handle it. Because I now remembered also how she was not, the kindest to him as she was doing his teeth. I mean, this is a child that hasn't done it before. And as far as I'm concerned, a lot of things that dentists say is not painful. It hurts. I mean, skin and polishing for me hurts. They'll tell you how, oh, it's not pressure. They're pulling out your teeth. And like, it's not pressure. It's not pressure. What? It's pressure. It's not pain. It's pressure. I'm like, no, it's pain. It's a lot of pain. I mean, some people have just low threshold for pain and all. So I make a mental note that if this ever happens again, I would make sure I listen to my kids. And I said this story because I've been sort of keeping my antennas up for how I see people talk to children. It's almost like, of course, children should respect adults, but people don't want to respect children. No, I think respect should be mutual. How the dynamics would differ on how, I respect a child and how a child respects me. But I cannot just expect to get away with talking to a child anyhow, treating a child anyhow, and expecting that the child respects me. No, because at every human level, even the most basic of them, humans deserve respect. Humans made in the image and likeness of God. Of course, we deserve respect. We deserve respect. So, in this episode, we're going to be talking about speaking respectfully to children, both within the home and outside the home. And why is this important? It's important because if we just let people talk anyhow to our children, talk down at them, shout at them, push them, shove them here and there, it really impacts on their confidence and self-esteem, and also what they tolerate from others, and worse still, what they consider as the norm. They can just consider that, of course, that's how people should talk to me. No, that's why it's important that not only are you speaking to your kids right, you're also training people to speak to your kids right. And where there's an anomaly, you fix it. You step up and be a mom or a dad and you fix it. Don't just tolerate it. I'll just put in a very proud plug here. I hosted this masterclass on no yell parenting and low screen children. Even though my friend maybe handled the no yell parenting, it was an amazing session. And it's possible for you to have a parenting that is yell free. You don't have, except there's danger, but you don't have to yell. Because if you're the person that keeps yelling, either at your children or they're watching you yell at others, you're modeling it to them. You're letting them know that, of course, that's the way we speak. We raise our voices. This is how we talk. And you don't want them to think that this is the norm. So whether you are tolerating people talking to them anyhow, or you being the one talking to them anyhow, both ways, it's bad, very bad. So in this episode, this is the first, we're going to have 2 episodes on it. I will focus on you as the parent or the mom, in case the dad is listening to it, the dad, the parent. How, not just how you speak to them, but how you speak to other people, how they hear you speak to other people. Then in the second episode of this, we would go into the nitty-gritty of, how you speak to children and, just what to do and how we should speak to them, actually. So let's put a spotlight on you as a parent now. How do you let others speak to you? and how do you speak to others. In fact, if you haven't, if you weren't a part of the masterclass that talked about Know Your Parenting, I'm going to drop a link down below. Please go and purchase it, watch it, pause this video and go and watch that one first, because you're not allowed. It's not allowed to just be shouting anyhow, losing emotional control anyhow. No, we cannot. Within the home, outside the home, it's not allowed, because all of this I'm saying will just sort of fly over your head. If your home is this home where everybody's yelling all the time and your kid does something, you're shouting, your spouse is shouting, and it's just, no, we're not doing your shouting, your domestic help shouting, or your driver shouting. We're not doing that. You need to learn it. So how do you let others speak to you? Because there's also the flip side where you just take anything, you just have this doormat syndrome where you don't want to confront anything, you just let things slide, anybody can talk to you anyhow. Oh my goodness. Or you're the person who's always screaming. No, none of it is allowed. I love something that I learned from my hero, parenting hero, Lisa Beaver, and she talked about how, as a mom, of course her boys, she has 4 boys, they're all grown now, married and all that, but at that younger age, she talked about how her kids would suddenly, some of them started to say stuff like, I can't. And she was hearing such defeatist statements from them. And she's like, where did they pick it up from? Like, how? Where did they pick it up from? And the Holy Spirit tells her, they're picking it from you. It's not just what you are telling them to do. They're watching you do a different thing. So they're seeing a spirit of fear, a spirit of cowardice around you. And they're imbibing it because it's a spirit. It's beyond what you say to them. It's how you behave. It's how you rock out your own life. Because the truth is, we cannot give what we don't have. So you cannot give confidence if you're not confident. You cannot give respect and tact and charisma and elegance if you don't have it. You can only give what you have. So Lisa said she started to fight it because she was seeing that she was passing it on to her children. So she fought for it in her own life first. And then, of course, with her children, it took care of itself. So just see why it's important that before we talk about, speaking respectfully to children and, helping them to build their confidence and what they tolerate as the norm, has to start with you. It has to start with you. So if you're this wimpy, fearful, I don't want to rock the boat kind of mom or dad, your kids are seeing that because you're modeling it to them. So no matter how many times you repeat the affirmations, especially my boys are not devotional, I am bold, I am confident, I'm as bold as a lion. Your modeling is stronger than that. Your modeling to them is stronger than that. And they're paying attention not only to what you say, but also to how you behave. So if you're the person who has just let people ride roughshod over you and then just take anything from people because you don't want to rock the boat, it's time to develop, some emotional strength and agility. When you need to confront issues in your personal life with other people, please do so. Even with your spouse, do so. Have those uncomfortable conversations. Now, for some of them, your kids will not even see you. So you're wondering how does it really impact? But it impacts on how you can then pass it on to them, because if you don't have it, you can't give it, baby. So don't allow them slide. But don't go at it with all your emotions everywhere. Like, oh, you're shouting, you're screaming. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. You're going to, I like a definition of tact or charisma. I don't remember who exactly is credited to, but it says something like charisma or tact is telling somebody to go to hell in a way that they actually look forward to the trip. Do you see? So you can pass your point across. You can. The more you do this, the more you have those conversations, the more you insist on, hey, no, this is how you should treat me. Don't speak to me this way. Or, hey, this is what I want. But the more you have, the more your confidence grows. Then the more you can pass it on to your children as a spirit. So something, for example, happens in your kid's school. Your kid says something. Don't let it slide. Chase it down. Dig deeper. And guess what? In some instances, your kid is actually going to be at fault. It happened with my son. He was at fault. And his name got in the case file. They said he should write an apology letter. And I know that some parents will be like, it's not a big deal. And I'm like, no, you will write the letter so that you know that you don't do things like that. But the balance to it is that even though they've done something wrong, you must teach them that they're not wrong. You still say, so I tell my kid, even when you're wrong, I still want to see confidence. Still speak boldly. Even when you've spoiled something, come and tell me with boldness. Look at me in the face. You're not just, you're not like, oh, I don't care, I've done it. No, it's not like you're just rebellious, but I still want you to be bold and confident, because the devil is going to come and attack your identity. So I say, still look me in the face, still speak out loud, clearly, and state what, even if I have to punish you, but I still want you to be confident, because that was something wrong that has to be dealt with, but please don't let it affect your identity. So chase things down, especially when it involves your kids, but even when it involves you. Do you see? Even within your home, speak with confidence, speak with kindness, even on tough matters, handling a situation with your domestic help. Speak well. Let them see you speak to people respectfully. Let them see other people speak respectfully to you. And if they're not, let them see you insist on it. And, even how we navigate friendships. In my personal life, I've had to navigate some, very murky waters with friendships. And I've had to confront situations. Was it uncomfortable? Of course. But I'm going to do it for my kids. I don't want to be a mom who is saying one thing and doing another thing. No, we're going to be bold, confident. We're going to be adults. In fact, one of my mantras this September is that you're a grown adult. You're a grown adult. So you handle it, you're 36. If I look myself in the mirror, I had to confront someone recently on something. I sent the email. I typed the email. I waited for 24 hours, almost 24 hours. I'm going to read this again the next morning, see how I feel about it. Next morning I was fine and I sent it off. I was like, oh my gosh, how will this response come? Would I be this? Would I be that? But the response came and it was fine. I was happy I confronted the situation with a lot of respect, not emotions all over the place. Still respect for you as a human being. But me saying, no, this was not right. Handle things like a grown adult, even with a stranger on the road. Handle it. If someone speaks to you unkind and your kids are there, say, oh, no, that's not the way to speak. Say what you need to say. Some things are within your locus of control and some things are not within your locus of control. So if someone speaks to you anyhow, that is not exactly within your locus of control. But within your locus of control is how you react to it. You can just say no, I don't like it. The person may not change, but at least you've passed your point across. And they're not going to slap you for it. Toxic work environment, and you cannot say things. And this is not about emotional fragility or you're just touchy. No, this is about respect. This is about respect. So a stranger outside, a boss here, go and talk to them. Let them know that no, this is not right. Or can I negotiate your way out of situations? But like I said, with dignity, with class, with respect, without your emotions everywhere. They may not even respond to what you say, but what you have done to yourself, and what the beautiful thing you can pass on to your kids is that we don't tolerate disrespect. We're not timid about insisting on what is right. Do you see? So state your case clearly, with dignity, with tact, with respect, elegantly. Because beyond what you say, your kids are watching you. Right. I want to make sure that we're passing, along the best vibes to our children. Like Lisa Beaver said, you're not doing it for you now, you're doing it for your children. Do you want to raise children who are wimpy and who cannot fight for their rights and who cannot? No, we don't want that. You certainly do not want that. So, I know this has been helpful. Let me know how it has been helpful to you. And like I said, in the second part, we are definitely going to, the basics and the specifics for our children. We're not going to speak to our children anyhow. We're not doing it. So we're going to really go into how to treat our children, the boundaries to set around what you say and how you say it and all of that. So I'm really looking forward to that conversation. So drop a comment, subscribe, like, share, and I'll see you in my next video. Until then, shalom is my prayer for you, because the prayer of shalom, the peace of God, contains all of the prayers. God bless you.